Morning all, and hey, we're only 4 days away from the start of the NHL's regular season, and happy Friday, everybody. So, news of the day, a little preview in here as well. First off, I want to mention that from last night's games, in the Florida-Tampa Bay game, Florida wins 6-3, but Oliver Ekman-Larsson 2 assists and played 23 minutes and 14 seconds in last night's game. OEL, if he has a bounce-back season after leaving Vancouver, it would not surprise me. And playing in Florida, I think it'll be a better system for him. So we'll see whether or not OEL can keep this going into the regular season. Spencer Knight has been demoted to the AHL, so Anthony Stolarz is the backup right now. Spencer Knight does not require waivers to get sent down to the minors, so it makes sense from that perspective, and they want Spencer Knight to get some games in. Get his confidence going, and then they'll likely bring him back up. So all the best to Spencer Knight, and Stolarz is a decent backup, so that's a good option to have. Jared Spurgeon's going to miss the start of the regular season based on an injury suffered last night. He's considered week to week. So as I always mention, when it's week to week, assume at least 2 weeks. Week to week is usually at least a 2-week injury, if not longer. So without Spurgeon, Minnesota's blue line... it's still a good blue line, but they're really going to miss Spurgeon. Andrei Svechnikov, Carolina Hurricanes. He was at practice today in a non-contact jersey, so he's getting closer to returning. The fact he's in a non-contact means he's a couple days further out than he would be if he was wearing a contact jersey, but still good to see him out on the ice. Chase DeLeo, so he was injured in the knee-on knee hit that got Kaliev the 4-game suspension. It's been announced he's out 8 weeks, MCL sprain that he suffered in that hit. So for Chase DeLeo, he'll be out for about 2 months worth of time. One move that kind of caught my eye today that I was a bit surprised by is that Brennan Othmann's been sent down to the Hartford Wolfpack by the New York Rangers. And I'm surprised because I thought Othmann was playing really well, and I'm kind of surprised he doesn't make it onto the roster. But as I've said before, and as we mentioned with Spencer Knight up here, when a player doesn't need waivers to be sent down, it makes the GM's job a little bit easier. And of course, for Othmann, he'll be called up likely as soon as there's any kind of injury in the forward core for the New York Rangers. So don't be surprised if some young guys who've had good training camps and preseasons get sent down just because their waiver is exempt, and it just makes it easier for a GM. You don't want to be in a situation where you've waived somebody, you've lost that player on waivers, and then 2 weeks, 3 weeks down the road, you're dealing with injuries, and that player you lost on waivers, you really need back, right? So makes sense to send the younger players down. So we'll see how long Othmann's down there for. 5 games tonight in the National Hockey League, 3 of them starting at 4 o'clock Pacific, 7 o'clock Eastern. The Nashville Predators and the Carolina Hurricanes being one of those 3 games. That, of course, should be entertaining. And again, if Nashville was just in the Eastern time zone, physically, they're closer to a lot of the Eastern teams, but again, because of the time zone they're in, it makes sense for them to be in the Central. New Jersey and the Islanders matching up tonight. The Islanders are dressing a more NHL-heavy lineup than the New Jersey Devils, so doesn't necessarily mean New Jersey's going to lose, and it shows just how much depth New Jersey has now, where they can keep guys around for longer. They're getting a better look at some of these young players, and yeah, it's a good time to be a Devils fan, isn't it? The Penguins and the Buffalo Sabres will also start at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. Should be a highly entertaining game. And then we get to the 2 later starts. At 9 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Pacific, the Seattle Kraken and the Edmonton Oilers. And then an hour later, the Calgary Flames and the Vancouver Canucks will play. I know the Flames and the Canucks, that one's going to be on Sportsnet. I don't know if I'm going to watch it and do a recap of it. But we shall see. So, because the recap videos for preseason games, I know they don't necessarily do all that well. I don't know how much we learned from them. Last night I did the one in the San Jose LA game because I thought, hey, it's in Salt Lake City. That's kind of fun. But anyways, we'll see what happens. I may do a recap of a game or 2 tonight. But stay tuned. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happen upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.